Welcome to the Canyon Country Advisory Committee. Tonight, as normal, we'll have our call to order, a flag salute, we'll do announcements, and I'm going to make the first announcement right now because, as it turns out, we've been meeting now for over a year. The lodge has had problems with air conditioning and funding, but that's all been squared away. So as of the next meeting, we'll have air conditioning. So that'll be great. Woohoo! Anyhow, we'll go through announcements. If anybody has any corrections from the minutes of the last meeting. And then Travis Lang is here from the city of Santa Clarita to talk to us about Santa Clarita's current stormwater program. You might remember that there was a Clean Water, Clean Beaches initiative from the County of Los Angeles that they were talking about. If you were at the last council meeting, there's also discussions about meeting the new stormwater requirements set forth by the Regional Water Quality Control Board. So I thought it would be really good for us to understand what we do today, and then it'll make more sense when we hear what they're going to do later. Next, we're going to have Gothic Landscaping. Tony from Gothic Landscaping is going to tell us how to help our plants cope with hot weather and keep our lawns green. And then a Whitaker Burmite CAG report. And lastly, I'm going to do a little stormwater chloride Regional Water Quality Board Round 2 discussion, which is really a discussion about a little bit about the new requirement, the new permit, and a little bit about why I call it Round 2, because we're dealing with the same group of people that we had dealt with before. Then our version of public participation, which is 1 minute for the first 5 people that want to speak, and sign-up sheets are in the back of the room. Then a preview of next month's meeting, and then we'll adjourn the meeting at 9 p.m. This month, this picture has been circulating around the internet again, and it always amazes me when I see it. This is a piece of art on a rock in a gravel pit in Iowa, and it's just utterly amazing to me. I think it's a great effort. It's something that really shows a person. Thoughts and about patriotism and our brave men and women in the armed forces that help keep us free. And so I just thought that since we had all these good pictures of it, I'd share it once again. And it reminded me, because a lot of people say patriotism is wavering, but certainly not here in Santa Clarita, and certainly not in the Midwest. And certainly not where Ray Sorensen lives. And here's the artist. He put this together showing that patriotism is alive and well here in the United States of America. And with that, Carl, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please? Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Before we get into the formal announcements, I got this little piece in the mail. Did anybody else get this in the mail? And if you remember, we had quite a bit of discussions about smart meters and a discussion about what smart meters were going to be used for. And we were told they were going to be used to help us save money and manage our own resources. And we talked about that there was a fear that smart meters would be used to change the charging to a charge by time of use as opposed to monthly. And here it comes, the first piece. So really carefully, we'll talk about it some more, and I'll invite the Edison people down again. But this is an issue where Edison is going to use smart meters to determine that if you don't use or you reduce power requirements at certain times of the day, they'll reduce your rates. And that's just the start of charging by time of use. The chloride EIR comment period, remember? So now it is July 24th is the deadline. I believe that's next Tuesday, isn't it? And so be sure to get your comments in. And you can mail them in by snail mail. You can send them to our friend Mary Jacobs in, down at the sanitation district. But make sure you get your comments in so we can see the answers when the official copy comes out later in the year. 4th of July. We had a great time 4th of July. I hope everybody did. Just wanted to show you a little example. Here's the Canyon Country Advisory Committee's 4th of July float. There it is from the rear. You can you can even see it says Canyon Country Advisory Committee. And the float itself being towed by Aaron and their truck. And as they went by, waving to the crowd. So they had a great time. And next year, I hope more of us get together and have another great float. Election news, we talked about the fact that I would keep you abreast of what's going on in the City Council election. And so on July 6th, the Signal announced that Berta Gonzalez-Harper, Berta's right here in the front row, and Dwayne Hardy would be added to the list of candidates who have declared that they're going to run in 2014. Now that brings the group, makes it a little bit bigger. Currently, we have Dante Acosta, we have myself, Alan Ferdman, Gloria Mercado Fortine, Maria Gutzeit, Marcia McLean, and Lorraine West, with Frank Ferry having decided not to run. So that makes 8 currently who have indicated that they will be pulling paperwork. The actual paperwork for the city election is pulled in the middle of December, and so we'll wait for that as well. One other candidate who has talked about that they would probably run but hasn't made the final decision yet is Diane Troutman, and so we'll wait for her as well. But you know, these guys, we also had fun at the 4th of July parade. There was Dante Acosta's float. He was in there waving to the crowd in his Dante Acosta t-shirts. And I had a float in there. There was mine. And I got I was loaned this really great hat by Rena Newhall, and had a great time in the parade as well. Concerts in the park is revving up, and so I just thought I'd throw out some of the schedules. There's going to be a concert on the 20th, 27th, August the 3rd, August the 10th, August the 17th, and August the 24th. So if you want to get some good music and enjoy yourself at Central Park, there it goes. It's the city providing us with some good and fine entertainment. Last month, our attendance went up. I figured that we'd have a little bit of a problem due to the heat, and I'm certainly glad that we're going to be able to have an air-conditioned room come next month, and hopefully that'll drive the attendance back up. I was looking at that before, and I realized that this has been an issue since May of 2011, so it's been a while. For the video statistics, we are watching those again. The red mark on last month's, which got a little bit of a rise, was the stormwater presentation by the gentleman from down south who is in an organization that champions that kind of stuff. And this last month, the lead presentation was Kevin Tenoyan and his discussion of medians. But we'll continue to watch and see what is the most viewed and which ones you seem to like the best. All right, the next meeting, Donna Nuzzi is going to be here from the City of Santa Clarita. She's the Emergency Services Supervisor, and she'll talk about the Santa Clarita CERT program. I'm going to talk a little bit about the Community Conservation Solutions contract. and how the contract actually was in place in the middle of 2011 when the city had a contract before the sanitation district had theirs, and that in actuality the sanitation district paid for part of the city contract. So it's an interesting story. It was accomplished on Mr. Polskamp's watch. Mr. Striplin has been very straightforward in giving us the information, letting us know what occurred, and hopefully he will prevent it from ever happening again. But I think it's an interesting story, and I think you should know about it. Next, we ought to talk about why the sanitation district should and must meet in the Santa Clarita Valley, and what we need to do to go make that happen. The Antelope Valley, they meet. For the Antelope Valley, they go out and they meet in the Antelope Valley. They ought to come here. We should not be going to Whittier. And we'll talk a little bit about EIR comments and see who has some interesting comments and proposals to meet. So I'd like to thank you all for choosing to attend the Canyon Country Advisory Committee. I know this period of time has not been easy based upon the fact that we have been without air conditioning for so long. But we can all smile because next month we'll be air conditioned. And I'd love to see you all back here again next month. Thank you very much.